Hello gamers! Today, I'll be showing off 10 more rare and weird events in Hearts of Iron 4. It's been a hot minute since I did the last one of these. Sorry for the wait. I've been, busy. But we're back, and let's jump right into it. Do note though, there won't be any events from Arms Against Tyranny. I wrote up this list months ago. The first one we're talking about is fitting for a World War II game about Danzig. As Poland, if you clamp down on Danzig and don't do anything to actually clamp down on them, shocker, they'll rise up. They start off with 3 veteran divisions, which isn't much, but if you tag switch over to Danzig, you can hold off the Polish without too much trouble. If you're able to push out a bit and occupy the whole of Gdynia for a certain period of time, you can actually peace out. The problem is that you don't get cores on this new land. And get this, you don't even have cores on Danzig itself. But wait, if you don't have cores on Danzig, and the free city of Danzig, which should be you, is resisting you, what happens if they revolt? The free city of Danzig rises up, again, and even they don't have cores on Danzig. Something else can happen in your independence war, which is the second event of this video. If you're simply able to survive for long enough, you'll get an event from Germany where you're invited to become a puppet. Your name changes to Reichsgau Danzig, and Germany will proceed to kill Poland on your behalf. If Danzig is controlled by AI, and at peace with Poland, they will eventually be annexed by Germany. But this won't happen if you're playing as Danzig, which is nice. As a side note, if you actually wanted to play as the Free City after this point, make sure you're independent, and release yourself as Kashubia to actually get cores. If you want to stay fascist, release yourself as a puppet. You'll be fascist, but since your master died to make you, you'll be free, smiley face. Thanks to Tom and Jerry in the comments for this event. As Nazi Germany, you have to occupy the entirety of California while at war with the USA. And you've got to occupy it for a pretty long time. It says a mean time of 12 months in the game files, but that could mean 2 years. And you need to have 4 or more divisions stationed in California for the entirety. If you wait long enough, you'll be treated with something real bizarre. Charlie Chaplin is captured by a German patrol and is sent at gunpoint to Berlin to meet with Hitler, who is, as quote, giddy as a child. This event is rare for the main reason that if you invade America for the East Coast, they'll surrender pretty much as soon as you hit Los Angeles or San Francisco. And remember, you need to be at war for another 1 to 2 years at this point for the event to fire. And what's the alternative? Invading America? As Germany? Through the Pacific? This event is for a formable nation and I'm pretty damn confident people don't play. First off, you should go into the game settings and turn on Soviet Union Fragmented. Then, when you load up the game, you'll be presented with peak Russian borders and a lot of new states, including these 5 small countries in the Ural Mountains. Then, as one of them, you must conquer the other 4. If you're able to do this, or just, annex through console, you can form the mighty Edel Ural Republic. You'll have access to 8.2 million core manpower, roughly the same amount that the province of Moscow has, plus a fair bit of steel. However, before forming this country, let your neighbors do their industry focuses first. Then, you might be decently powerful. Too bad you're still surrounded by Russia. Also, these are the flags. The democratic one basically is just the Kosovo flag. This event was brought to my attention by a Turkish man. Thank you. What you gotta do is play as Turkey and to not ratify the 6 arrows. Of course, that blocks you off from doing the actual meat and beans of your focus tree, but whatever. Fix up your military in the meantime. When you get to 1937, Ataturk's health will start declining, so kick him out of office. Then, you'll get to pick a successor. And since you didn't ratify the 6 arrows, you'll get an option that's a bit of an Easter egg. The event files even noted as such with a little smiley face. The ex-caliph, yes, the very one you get for reinstating the Ottoman Empire, is now your leader, without the hassle. Unfortunately, this doesn't mean you can speedrun the Ottomans. You still gotta do it the normal way, and do focuses until the game lets you have any fun. Speaking of Easter eggs, you might know this one. For starters, play as Switzerland, and you've gotta do 2 things. Conquer some land by the water, and make sure Austria gets eaten up, by you or whoever. Then, after a meantime of 300 days, you'll get this event about the Von Trapps offering their services. This is of course the family from The Sound of Music, which is about them trying to flee from Austria to Switzerland after the Anschluss. In this case, they're not fleeing shit. From this event, you'll then get access to a Chief of Navy who costs 200 political power. He is a genius and gives 0.4 naval XP daily, and 20% convoy rating XP, which sounds pretty good, but like 99% of you, I have also never bothered to learn the naval system. Also, not gonna lie, I didn't realize that the Von Trapps were real people. I thought they were just characters in a movie. Let me know in the comments who your favorite Austrian person is. please don't say that one. From the No Step Back DLC, both Poland and Lithuania each have paths that allow them to claim the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Ever wonder what happens if both countries choose this path at the same time? Well, those bastards over at Paradox Interactive have prepared for that potentiality. If Lithuania follows the "a king for our people" path, and if Poland chooses the Commonwealth claimant as their new king, then this event will eventually file. The Two Kings Dilemma. In it comes two options. The first, the two nations can come together and form the Commonwealth Alliance, with Lithuania grabbing Vilna. But who plays the war game to make cute factions? That's why you have the second option. There can be only one. That gives both Poland and Lithuania war goals against each other. There's no point in avoiding war, you can't even do the militants decisions anymore. Here's a bullshit challenge for you viewers at home. Try winning this war as Lithuania. These next two events I'll be talking about were quote-unquote included in By Blood alone. They're inaccessible until you actually go into the game files and delete the little hash keys that stop them from being triggered. The first event would feature Hitler dying if Berlin fell either to the Allies or the Soviets, and a successor taking over. There would likely be Karl Dönitz, but could also be the Fat Man or the Chicken Farmer. Or maybe Rudolf Hess breaks out of prison and takes over. The other event is entitled Polish Government Aligns with the USSR, i.e. they become a Soviet puppet. This would seemingly occur if Germany lost in a historical fashion, and the Soviets puppet Poland in the following peace deal. These events show that someone at Paradox wanted to add some historical flair into the late game, but for whatever reason, it wasn't implemented. Probably deadlines, but hopefully these events are included somewhere in the future, as a part of some larger push to flesh out the post-war world. In this one, you're required to play as, shocker, Poland. You must go down the fascist path and willingly become a German puppet. On top of that, you have to give up your northwestern provinces and Katowice. Sucks, right? Well, there is a trade-off. It doesn't take long to become independent. You do this focus here to become a satellite, and then you increase your autonomy from fighting the Allies and spamming convoys from the ports you stole from Lithuania. This may sound pointless, since Poland has a lot of great paths that don't handicap you from the beginning, but this focus at the bottom, decide post-war borders, can make it kinda worth it, in which you can ask Dolphy Boy for cores in the USSR. You get the choice between cores on the Baltic countries, Belarus and Ukraine, barring Crimea, or cores on Ukraine and the Caucasus, including Crimea. Ukraine and Caucasus is by far the best option, giving you access to a lot of manpower and steel, which you're lacking since you gave it all away to Germany. Unfortunately, the selection process comes down to chance. With your first choice, Germany has a 60% chance to say no. If they do, you'll have to pick another option. If they say no again, then you'll have to go with the final option, which Germany can't say no to. If you combine these cores with the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, you can get some beefy borders. But despite all this, you could have just played as Anastasia and cored everything. This event focuses on the Uyghur nation of Xinjiang, which, with the revamped Soviet tree, can actually be groomed by Russia into uniting China. They can grant you extra resources and factories at the eventual cost of becoming a Soviet puppet. Well, what happens when Barbarossa begins and the Soviets start eating rocks? If they've completed the Gobi Gambit focus, and are at more than 50% surrender progress, after a meantime of 180 days, you get this event. If you're still a puppet, you'll get 500 autonomy points, but will continue to be a commie intern. If you're fully independent by this time, but still in the Comintern plus a part of the war, you can straight up leave the faction mid-war, and remove resource rights over Zungaria. Well, it says it does, but I don't think it works. The Soviets get a war goal on you, but what are they gonna do? Also, this doesn't piece you out, so are you really any better off? One like for a Soviet Xinjiang game. Thanks for watching, everyone. It ended up being more than 10 events, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got a set schedule now, so hopefully the next video won't be too far away. Or maybe not. It'll be out when it's out.